Arbiter has a massive issue. The issue being it's too good. I feel like Arbiter has a lot of glaring balancing flaws, and in this video I will discuss a lot of them and hopefully give a few solutions to balance out Arbiter. The core of Arbiter's unbalance lies within their abilities. Arbiter has 3 abilities, and every one of them is frankly too good or just overpowered. Rally is one of their abilities. Once used, it buffs the fire rate of every single tower for a short duration by 20%. I can't give specific numbers, but this ability obviously boosts DPS a ton, tearing through bosses easily, especially with high DPS towers like Drone. On paper, it doesn't sound too overpowered, but the flaw lies in the ability cooldown. It's only 20 seconds once used. This turns Rally into an ability that can be used on every wave up to 2 or 3 or even more times. Rally becomes a mindless ability where you just use it once it's off cooldown, rather than one where you save it for difficult or boss waves. To add on to this issue, this ability can be used anywhere, meaning you can stand on the edge of the map, dodge a few attacks while drastically increasing the DPS of your towers every 20 seconds. The lack of downsides and spammability when it comes to Rally makes it easily one of the best abilities in the game, if not the best. The second ability, Blind Strike, comes with its own strong benefits. The ability prompts you to select a target. Once you do, you strike the enemy down from the heavens, dealing good damage and some AoE damage to the surrounding enemies, while also stunning the enemy you selected for a short amount of time. The damage does increase depending on how much defenses the enemy has, but generally I think that's fine. However, there's one mechanic that pushes this ability to be overpowered. It stuns mini-bosses and bosses, excluding the final boss. Mini-bosses and bosses are stunned for a reduced duration, but I don't really get this game design as Arbiter already has Rally, an ability that is made to counter bosses with its fire rate buffs increasing DPS. Stunning bosses, even if it's a reduced duration, is already gonna be a plus. Perhaps it's even more free DPS than Rally is. But regardless of which is better, when you combine them both, you make bosses a joke. And guess what? It's a map-wide ability with a cooldown of only 15 seconds. So it has all the balancing issues of Rally, it's spammable while giving great buffs with no downsides. The main issue is no other class can match this, so it's just better than every other class in the game. The final ability is a bit more balanced, but I think it is strong in its own regard. Blessing from the Heavens, which I'm just going to refer to as a healing ability, heals the towers based on percentage. This means lower HP towers will heal less while higher HP towers will heal more. This greatly buffs, hold on let me check, every tower in the game. This is because there is not a natural regeneration mechanic for towers in the game. A choice likely made because towers don't die when they hit 0 HP, rather they go out of commission and come back after a bit. However, this game design gives Arbiter even more edge over other classes. I will admit, it isn't a mindless ability where you can sit at the edge of the map and heal all your towers. You actually have to be really close to the towers to heal them. But I think it's the very fact that healing is locked behind a single class that is worrying for the future balance of the game and other classes. All in all, Arbiter is objectively the best class in the game. This is because it has mechanics locked specifically to the class, and Arbiter has abilities that have 0 cons and 0 risk of dying, but drastically increases your chance of winning and DPS. Another point to bring up, this is old tier 0 Arbiter. As you tier up the class, cooldowns get reduced, and the overall damage you deal is increased. This not only makes Arbiter the best class for beginners to pick, but also the class you should spend time and money on. Arbiter, no matter how you look at it, is unbalanced. It outclasses every other class in the game, not only for beginners, but also long term. Teddy Roosevelt once said, complaining without a solution is just called whining. So here is how I would balance out Arbiter. The first thing would be buffing the ability cooldowns across the board. I would nerf Rally to 65 seconds from 20, and increase the buff duration by 2 seconds to balance things out. The goal with this nerf is to make Rally not an autopilot ability where you use it automatically once it's off cooldown, like it is currently. You have to use strategy with a longer cooldown, perhaps saving it for difficult waves, using it when you're struggling, and of course boss waves. For Blind Strike, I would increase the cooldown from 15 seconds to 30 seconds. And I would completely remove the mechanic of the ability stunning bosses. It just makes bosses easier than they already are. It also discourages the use of parrying, because why risk your life when you could strike across the map and stun the boss? These nerfs are to make the ability less spammy and require more strategy, just like Rally, while encouraging the use of the parry system, which might push other players to experiment or switch to other classes. The final ability that heals towers I would not change at all, which seems kinda counterintuitive, but here's the solution I would do. I would add natural regeneration to towers, however at a pretty low rate. I'm thinking 1 HP every 12 seconds. This makes Arbiter great for healing while not locking the mechanic totally behind a clash. I also feel like adding natural regeneration adds the door for future perks or classes to buff it. For example, a perk can increase natural regen to 2 HP every 10 seconds. But wait, doesn't this encourage stalling so your towers can heal? Well, I feel like the game already has a built-in counter to this. Time rewards will decrease at the end of matches if you take longer, and it would take ages at this rate to actually heal a tower with my suggested stats, so it would just never be worth doing. All in all, this video was made to point out the objective flaws in balancing Arbiter has and realizing it's too overpowered in its current state. The nerfs I propose can be expanded or adjusted on, but their aim was to bring Arbiter more in line with other classes while not making it as spammy and brainless as it currently is to use. It also promotes the ranking up system in a much healthier way. It makes the class actively better and not more overpowered. But this is just my opinion on Arbiter. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with me or do you disagree? And yeah, let me know, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video in 3 weeks, guys.